Okay, so here's going to be a little side video, something that I just wanted to share. One of my favorite games of all time are I guess you consider them one game since it's basically the same. Anyway, one of my favorite games of all time is Ravenloft, and that's both Strahd's Possession and Stone Prophet. And they're great games, but did you know that there's a way to make them even better? See, they're very hard to play if you were, say, used to a WADS configuration, like if you're playing Elder Scrolls.
Having recently returned from patrol, the comrades of Lord Duff walked the protocols of High Hall, approaching the quarters development from the sovereign. Word of the
Yeah, let's skip past this. So anyway, they're very good games, right? But if you're used to Elder Scrolls, if you're used to Fallout 3 and 4, if you're used to Borderlands, stuff like that, first-person RPGs, they can be a little difficult because you're using the arrow keys. Since you're using the arrow keys, excuse me, to move around, let's take this music off. Since you're using the arrow keys to move around, they can be a little. The game can be a little bit hard to control because you're constantly having to move, and even if you're used to the arrow keys, it still can be a little bit hard. I've often heard this in various forums and whatnot. So I'm going to show you how to solve this problem because you can actually get a WADS configuration, or really any configuration you want, like a WASD configuration where W is up and A is left and D is right and S is backwards. You can get a configuration like that in these games because if you notice, if you go to the options, there's no option to change the keyboard commands. So you may be wondering, like, holy shit, how do we get past that? Well, I'm going to show you. Let me quit out of this because I already fixed it in there. So I'm going to show you. I haven't done it in Stone Prophet yet. I'm going to show you how to do this in these games. I'm an old DOSBox master. I started using DOSBox back in the early 2000s. I used to upload pirated games to Underground Gamer, which was a torrent tracker back in the 2000s, and I used to show people how to make their own DOSBox front end because I used to make my own DOSBox front end because I'm that kind of a nerdy guy. So I'm going to show you a little DOSBox trick.
Before that morning, no one in El Tugam.
Okay, so let's get through this stuff. Okay, get that music off. It's a little loud. So, what you want to do is you want to hit the button combination Control and F1. You want to hit the Control key and F1 at the same time. And what it's going to do is it's going to bring up this box in DOSBox. Okay. Now, by default, these Ravenloft games have your. If you notice, if you click on the arrow keys, you see how it has up, down, left, and right. Those are your direction, your up, down, left, and right movements. And if you look at numpad, now if you have a 10 key, if you have a keyboard that's a TKL keyboard that's 10 keyless and doesn't have the 10 number keys on the right, you won't be able to readjust these keys. But well, you will be able to. You just won't be able to adjust them back. The 7 and the 9 key are also used. The 7 key is turn left, and the 9 key is turn right. So this is what I do. Okay, I take the up button here, I select it, and then you go down to here and put delete. Then you take the left key, delete, the down key, delete, and the right key, delete. Now, what you do is you highlight W, or whatever ones you want to use for the movement keys. You delete them, W, A, S, D. Now what you do is you click on W, and you click on the button where it says add, and then you bind key 8. Or excuse me, incorrect. You bind the up key. Then you go into A, add, and bind the left arrow key. You go into D, add, bind the right arrow key, and S, add, bind the lower arrow key. Okay. Then what you do is you take, you can, because when you write save files, you might need to spell out words that have W, A, S, and D in them. So what I do is I go to the arrow keys and I add the letters to them. So I'll change the up arrow key to the letter W, the left arrow key to the letter A, the right arrow key to the letter D, and the bottom arrow key to the letter S. Then I also go to the number pad and I delete those 7 and 9 keys, and I delete Q and E, and then I make Q, I add the 7 key to Q, and to E I add the 9 key. Now what that does is it makes Q and E my left turn and my right turn buttons. Now you could make it so A and D are your left turn and right turn buttons, and Q and E are your strafe left and right. It's whatever is comfortable to you, you know. Then I go with the numpad, and just in case I need to type out the letter Q and the letter E, I change 7 to Q, and I change 9 to E. And then when I'm done, I hit save, and then exit. Now, what's great now is you can use WADS. Look at that. Now you can move. Isn't that great? You can actually move with the WADS keys. And it's so much easier to move around and attack in these games when you have that. Of course, let's. I'll show you how. Show you how I mean when you go to Strahd's possession. Like I have a save that I'm working on in this game. So when you have the
Recently returned from patrol.
yeah, no one cares. So when you have all this set up, you can easily go through the game moving with the WADS configuration. It makes it so much easier to track enemies too, because you can backpedal, turn, and easily attack enemies. Because one of the frequent complaints I have about these games that I see whenever I try to get people on forums to play them, like, oh man, the controls are so weird, I can't attack enemies. Well, see, you can once you switch out the controls to something more comfortable. Then you can track the enemies by just using the WADS keys. And you use your left mouse button to attack. See how much easier it is? Of course they killed my dwarf, but that's okay. But you get the point. I mean, it's much easier that way, and I thought I would show people how to do that. Remember, the code is Control and F1 at the same time. Control and F1. Actually, I think you hold Control and hit F1. Excuse me. And that will, let me see, is it? Yeah, I'm right. You hold down Control and hit F1. That's what it is. So there you go. That's how you change the controls to this game. I don't think you can do this in the launcher that they have on Steam. I don't believe. Let me see. I don't think Steam's launcher actually lets you... Yeah, it just tells you the controls. It doesn't... Yeah, it'll change the graphics settings, but that's it. Alright, so, by the way, the Ravenloft games are very good. If you get bored and you need a new D&D RPG to play and you want to go retro, there you go. So I hope that helps everybody, and have fun playing.